Week, and for us, we have cold range. We march out, I believe it's a 12 or 15 mile ruck to cold range, and the time limit given, which was like, I forget, 3 hours, 4 hours, and I forget the time hack for it. But we make it there, we march out there. A lot of guys normally don't make the time hack. So you've lost, let's say, 10 guys out of that portion. You get to cold range, and there's no a month long.
It's a month.
Yeah, Monday through Monday, physical, like a beat down. It really, so for you guys, you have Hell Week, and for us, we have cold range. We march out, I believe it's a 12 or 15 mile ruck to cold range, and the time limit given, which was like, I forget, 3 hours, 4 hours, and I forget the time hack for it. But we make it there, we march out there. A lot of guys normally don't make the time hack. So you've lost, let's say, 10 guys out of that portion. You get to cold range, and there's no like facility you live in. It's all outdoors, and it's just like Hell Week, I guess, minus the water and all the boat carrying. There's no sleep. You sleep maybe out of the 3 days, I believe, 4 days.
Shit.
Once, but it was a short sleep.
How long is rest?
About a month long.
It's a month.
Yeah, Monday through Monday, physical, like a beat down. Really, so for you guys, you have Hell Week, and for us, we have cold range. We march out, I believe it's a 12 or 15 mile ruck to cold range, and the time limit given, which was like, I forget, 3 hours, 4 hours, and I forget the time hack for it. But we make it there, we march out there. A lot of guys normally don't make the time hack. So you've lost, let's say, 10 guys out of that portion. You get to cold range, and there's no like facility you live in. It's all outdoors, and it's just like Hell Week, I guess, minus the water and all the boat carrying. There's no sleep. You sleep maybe out of the 3 days, I believe, 4 days. And we slept once, but it was a short sleep.
How long is rest?
About a month long.
It's a month.
Yeah, Monday through Monday, physical, like a beat down. It really kicks, so for you guys, you have Hell Week, and for us, we have cold range. We march out, I believe it's a 12 or 15 mile ruck to cold range, and the time limit given, which was like, I forget, 3 hours, 4 hours, and I forget the time hack for it. But we make it there, we march out there. A lot of guys normally don't make the time hack. So you've lost, let's say, 10 guys out of that portion. You get to cold range, and there's no like facility you live in. It's all outdoors, and it's just like Hell Week, I guess, minus the water and all the boat carrying. There's no sleep. You sleep maybe out of the 3 days, I believe, 4 days. And we slept once, but it was a short sleep.
How long is rest?
About a month long.
It's a month.
Yeah, Monday through Monday, physical, like a beat down. It really kicks, so for you guys, you have Hell Week, and for us, we have cold range. We march out, I believe it's a 12 or 15 mile ruck to cold range, and the time limit given, which was like, I forget, 3 hours, 4 hours, and I forget the time hack for it. But we make it there, we march out there. A lot of guys normally don't make the time hack. So you've lost, let's say, 10 guys out of that portion. You get to cold range, and there's no like facility you live in. It's all outdoors, and it's just like Hell Week, I guess, minus the water and all the boat carrying. There's no sleep. You sleep maybe out of the 3 days, I believe, 4 days. And we slept once, but it was a short sleep.
How long is rest?
About a month long.
It's a month.
Yeah, Monday through Monday, physical, like a beat down. It really kicks, so for you guys, you have Hell Week, and for us, we have cold range. We march out, I believe it's a 12 or 15 mile ruck to cold range, and the time limit given, which was like, I forget, 3 hours, 4 hours, and I forget the time hack for it. But we make it there, we march out there. A lot of guys normally don't make the time hack. So you've lost, let's say, 10 guys out of that portion. You get to cold range, and There's no like facility you live in. It's all outdoors and it's just like Hell Week, I guess, minus the water and all the boat carrying. No sleep. You sleep maybe out of the 3 days, I believe, 4 days. And we slept once, but it was a short sleep.
How long is grasp?
About a month long.
It's a month.
Yeah, Monday through Monday. Physical, like a beatdown. It really kicks. So for you guys, you have Hell Week, and for us, we have Cold Range. We march out. I believe it's a 12 or 15 mile ruck to Cold Range, and the time limit given, which was like I forget 3 hours, 4 hours, and I forget the time hack for it. But we make it there. We march out there. A lot of guys normally don't make the time hack. So you've lost, let's say, 10 guys out of that portion. You get to Cold Range, and there's no, like, facility you live in. It's all outdoors, and it's just like Hell Week, I guess, minus the water and all the boat carrying. There's no sleep. You sleep maybe out of the 3 days, I believe, 4 days. And we slept once, but it was a short sleep.
How long is grasp?
About a
family that was in the military, but none of them ever tried or went into special operations. I want to be the first generation in my family and encourage people after me and my family to go into special operations.
Special ops.
Basic, my drill sergeants told me about RASP.
Appreciate that, gang.
When I had more privileges, I did more research into what RASP was. I volunteered basic, my drill sergeant, and encourage people after me and my family to
Appreciate that, little mouse.
special operations. Basic, my drill sergeants told me about RASP. Falling into AIT, when I had more privileges, I did more research into what RASP was. I volunteered as soon as I could. What piqued my interest in regiment was the culture of accountability. You have to consistently and constantly earn your spot in the regiment, from private to command sergeant major or battalion commander. My name is Private First Class Barr. I graduated RASP 1 month ago, and it all started in one place.
Hey.
A lot of it was standing on the rocks and ensuring that candidates were administratively ready to go to R1. Now, it's become a much more comprehensive program, utilizing the 6 weeks in between each individual R1 class up. We utilize that to evaluate and prepare candidates to attend and pass RASP 1. During that time, we will conduct more team events, where candidates have to work in an environment that is deliberately designed to challenge them, both individually and as a team. We also prepare the candidates intellectually. These will include land navigation classes, rucksack packing classes, all of the things we do here to prepare candidates for what is about to be RASP 1, Phase 1.
Phase 1 is a relentless onslaught of demanding challenges that test a soldier's physical and mental strength under extreme conditions. We introduced them to SOC-P, the Special Operations Combatants Program. We know that every candidate has not been engaged in hand-to-hand combat, and SOC-P provides them with the tools necessary to be successful in the CQB environment.
Close quarter combat.
Range of First Responder is one of the instruction the candidates get. It's the assessment of the candidate's ability to quickly stabilize and retrieve a casualty. specialty. It is the last point of instruction leading up to the culminating event, which is their most challenging week within the course.
Ooh. We done. For those that are remaining, they have one final task. If they complete it, they pass on to phase 2.
Phase 2 is the second phase of RASP 1, where after we've tested their physical assessment in phase 1, we now start to introduce them to different skills and really start to test their mental capabilities. The first thing that they're introduced to in phase 2 is a marksmanship program. For a lot of these candidates, the first time they've ever held a pistol, so we really hone in on the pistol skills, as well as touch on basic rifle marksmanship, and even more advanced techniques that they're going to need in order to become. Also in phase 2, we introduce them to a couple of skills that increases their lethality as well as the ability to battle. And lastly, before graduation, we bring them into the shoot house. The shoot house is a culminating event between phase 1 and phase 2, specifically in the combatives program. Not only are we testing their combatives capability, also in phase 2, we introduce them to a couple of skills that increases their lethality as well as the ability to battle. And lastly, before graduation, we bring them into the shoot house. The shoot house is a culminating event between phase 1 and phase 2, specifically in the combatives program. Not only are we testing their combatives capabilities, we also want to see the root clearing capabilities, the weapons manipulations, and to see if they have the aggression that it takes to become a ranger.
beat feet to the next video. Why haven't you done it yet?
the most highly requested videos I've gotten basically of all time. What the heck is RASP? When you get an option for your contract, you're going to go to this thing called RASP. What is it? What do you do there? I've got my boy York here who's been through RASP a few times. He's going to give you guys just a quick little background of kind of his time going through RASP.
I went through RASP last February of 2017 is when I actually showed up for pre-RASP. I went through the course twice. First time I got medically recycled, and then they gave me the opportunity to go through it again, and I unfortunately failed again. And that's in this unit right now. So what you're gonna start off with is pre-RASP. You're gonna, if the cadre are the same cadre and they still like to, mess around with the guys, what they do is they pick you up at airborne school, and they'll take you on some like balls to the wall, like 6-mile run all around that OCS airborne school RASP area down there. Pre-RASP is pretty much just like your entry into the compound, because there's an actual RASP compound. They have fenced in. They have pretty much 3 separate buildings that you're gonna only associate with one though when you're actually in pre-RASP, and it's pretty cool in pre-RASP because you kind of like get to kind of familiarize yourself with the tempo. The course is like real high tempo, and pre-RASP kind of initializes you.
It's kind of like just like a ramping up period. How long does pre-RASP normally last for people? Because I know it can vary, but what do you think?
It'll vary greatly. So personally, I was only in pre-RASP my first time for 2 weeks. I was there for 2 weeks before I got the opportunity to class up. I've heard horror stories from people who've been there for like 3 months in pre-RASP.
Oh, that's
3 months in pre-RASP is nothing that anyone I would wish on anyone.
Now, at pre-RASP, you saying it's kind of like a ramping up period, or what kind of thing are you going through, like on your day-to-day? Like you getting smoked all day, you cleaning, or are you learning things? What is?
So for pre-RASP, at least when I went, and the course has changed a lot from the people I've talked to coming out now, but when I went through RASP, how they had it was in the morning, you wake up and you do whatever PT, and don't let anyone lie to you and tell you PT and pre-RASP is a joke, because it's not. It's hard, just the same. Like those guys, they have no off switch. Those cadre are not going to take it easy on you. You'll start off with PT, then you'll get back from PT, and they'll stretch you out, and they have like really good like professional stretching. They don't like waste time with anything that they do with that course. So you'll do like really good productive stretching, and they'll give you some ridiculous hit time. They'll give you like 20 minutes for everyone to get upstairs, get showered, get changed, get your stuff on. So you're gonna have to deal with a lot of stinky people, because a lot of people just nix that shower, and you don't do that. But then you come back down and you'll march to the DFAC. The DFAC, they do the same thing that they're always gonna do for you. They're gonna slap you on food, and you have like 3 minutes to eat your plate. Anything that gets left over, they like keep track of it. Then they sit you on the rocks, and that's once you come back from the DFAC, they'll sit you on the rocks. You're always going to be carrying around a rucksack, and it's to like a 60-pound standard when I was there. I don't know if they've changed that yet. But you're going to just sit back, they'll sit you on the rocks. You're always going to be carrying around a rucksack, and it's to like a 60-pound standard when I was there. I don't know if they've changed that yet. But you're going to just sit there, pretty much read your ranger material, your airborne ranger in the sky, your ranger handbook, your blue book, whatever you have on you, whatever materials, and then they'll quiz you on that stuff, and anything that you have wrong, you're going to get smoked for it. And those smokings are also no joke. Like, they take those things seriously.
Really?
Yeah, they work.
Okay, so that's basically pre-RASP in general. So once you kind of finish that up, when do you actually know that you're done with pre-RASP? And then once you actually make that transition to RASP, like what is that kind of process like? And then we can begin to talk about really kind of like the RASP day-to-day.
You're going to probably know about a month out when the next class up is happening. So about a month out, you're going to know, like, because it's like clockwork. Like they have in RASP,
Kind of like the RASP day-to-day.
you're going to probably know about a month out when the next class up is happening. So about a month out, you're going to know, like, because it's like clockwork. Like they have in RASP, you have 4 weeks, and then they phase up, and then that's when they take on the new class to go into phase 1 RASP. So you're going to know about a month out. How you're going to know if you're going to make it is usually, at least for me, whenever they had us go through, they would give us a PT test, and then they kind of did like an OML, which is like an order of merit list based
make sure you're good on your PT so you don't have to stay there even longer. So you get to RAS. First day, is it kind of, do they have like a shark attack kind of thing like they do at basic, like your first day of RAS?
Oh yeah.
They do?
Oh
Okay.
yeah. So the first day of RASP, again, this is just from my personal experience. They like to change that course up a lot, so no one gets comfortable. But that being said, I think it's almost science for them to have everyone do bag dumps, and those bag dumps are no joke. Those bag dumps suck.
That way, bag dumps for people that don't know.
You're gonna take down your rucksack, your A bag, and your B bag, and they're all gonna be chocked full because you're gonna so far have your basic initial issue, whatever you get issue or buy in AIT, and then whatever you buy or get issued during airborne school. You're gonna have a bunch of stuff, and you're gonna dump it all out all over the rocks, and they're gonna like pretty much make sure you don't have any like substances or any like knives or guns or any like paraphernalia or anything like that within your packing list. Gonna pretty much make sure you have your packing list, but this is all just an excuse so they can make your life hell for that first day, and that day sucks because you're gonna be squatting with the bag over your head. They're gonna be making you run laps. It's gonna be hot because it's Georgia, and they're gonna be having you hold squat. We held squat for like 2.5 hours once, and that
So
was
it's like an actual giant smoke session, not necessarily like the shark attack.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like an actual smoke session all day long.
And that's going to be like your first taste of the RASP cadre, and those guys are again no joke, real serious type people. Like know what they're doing, know who they want in the class and who they want to like kind of beat out.
Okay, so RAS, if you guys didn't know, it stands for the Ranger Assessment and Selection Program, right? So they're assessing you throughout this whole process. So RAS, if you guys didn't know, it stands for the Ranger Assessment and Selection Program, right? So they're assessing you throughout this whole process. How are they assessing? Like you're doing all this stuff, what are you kind of doing that they are assessing? Just like your willpower to actually make it through things, or are you actually kind of doing platoon tactics and FTXs or what?
So there's actual graded criteria that you need to pass to make it through RASP. But that being said, and granted I'm not a cadre or RASP, but like I talked to a lot of people,
We go at 10:30.
myself with like people who've made it through the course. I have friends that are in back right now. I have friends who failed and are here right now. So I don't think it's necessarily, there's no actual non-select that I've ever heard of. Everyone who fails for a reason. But that being said, I think the cadre are willing to be more lenient on certain things. Like for example, land nav. There's no number to pass land nav. There's no magic number. Everyone says like 12 safe. You get 12 points out of 20 on land nav. You're probably good. That
12
being
out
said,
of 20 in one session, or is it you do multiple rounds, like you get 3 out of 5 of those 4 times or something?
yeah, you're gonna have 4 during the whole range. The whole range is terrible. I'll talk about that here in a second though. But yeah, I think that the cadre are more willing to like capitulate and kind of lax the standards a little bit for a guy who's shown promise in other areas. Whereas if this guy's like a serial shitbag, they're not gonna let him off easy. So
Gotcha. So they're actually assessing the soldiers.
oh, for sure. It's not gonna seem like they are because you're gonna be kind of like during certain portions. I was able to kind of like do my own thing and like it doesn't seem like they always have eyes on you, but there's a pretty good chance.
Is there like an end of the day, like at basic? Because guys, I mean, I never went to RAS, so I'm kind of learning a lot of this stuff on my own right now. So like at the end of the day, when you're done with the duty day, whatever you're doing, do you kind of just go back to the barracks and chill for a little bit, or?
Yeah, usually. So how it worked, at least when I was there, was dinner chow was like once you got back from dinner chow, they'd march you back. If you didn't screw up earlier in the day, if you didn't piss any of the cadre off, then yeah, it was pretty much like they just get out of here, go upstairs, make sure the barracks are clean, and then that's when they'd start their own like CQ duties. So whoever was on CQ for that night, whichever cadre member, they'd probably do like a barracks walkthrough, and then they hold a formation at like 2000. But that's exclusively if you're on like good behavior, because they have all the time in the world. That is their only job, is to make your life suck.
Okay, so you've been through RAS twice.
Yep.
The first time, how long did you go through?
I went through week 5.
Week
and
5.
I had an infection, so they recycled me.
And the second time you went
we'll talk about that. We're gonna do after this kind of like a tips video, because from what I've talked to you before, and I think I've talked to James about it, you know, with that whole PT test and how it works, like you really need to be good on your PT, because they're not gonna count push-ups, they're not gonna count certain things like that. During the run, I'm sure you were tired from other things, right? So you really need to kind of focus on your PT. But RAPS is how long? When I went through, it was 8 weeks. So you had week 1 through 4 was your first phase. That was phase 1. That was like the what everyone kind of thinks of RASP as, like the get fucked up phase. Like that was the everyone, you're getting smoked all the time. You're always in pain. They're always like watching you. And then phase 2, which was week 5 through 8, was like your actual your learning things phase. Like you go through like crazy like shooting aggregates, and they like really teach you like proper rifle marksmanship, all that stuff you learn in basic training. Don't like, get rid of that, because we're going to teach you our way to do it. You get to shoot pistols, you get to shoot, you know, it's actually an awesome time. Take, even if that's all you're going to get from it, go through it and at least get that amount of information, because you will be a much better shot and a much better soldier just for like experiencing that, honestly. Okay, so we've basically kind of given you guys 5 through 8 was like your actual was phase 1. That was like the kind of focus on your PT. But RAPS is how long? When I went through, it was 8 weeks. So you had week 1 through 4 was your first phase. That was phase 1. That was like the what everyone kind of thinks of RASP as, like the get fucked up phase. Like that was the everyone, you're getting smoked all the time. You're always in pain. They're always like watching you. And then phase 2, which was week 5 through 8, was like your actual your learning things phase. Like you go through like crazy like shooting aggregates, and they like really teach you like proper rifle marksmanship, all that stuff you learn in basic training. Don't like, get rid of that, because we're going to teach you our way to do it. You get to shoot proper rifle marks. 5 through 8 was like your actual your learning things phase. Like you go through like crazy like shooting aggregates, and they like really teach you like proper rifle marksmanship, all that stuff you learn in basic training. Don't like, get rid of that, because we're going to teach you our way to do it. You get to shoot pistols, you get to shoot, you know, it's actually an awesome time. Take, even if that's all you're going to get from it, go through it and at least get that amount of information, because you will be a much better shot and a much better soldier just for like experiencing that, honestly. Okay, so we've basically kind of given you guys a general idea of RASP, but something that I want to do is we're going to go through real quick, week by week, week 1 through 8, of what you're going to kind of do each week. So week 1, it's all kind of smoking. Yeah, so week 1, you're looking at pretty much exclusively, like this is the first opportunity the cadre have had to like, with this new class, so they're really going to just smoke you, try as much as they can to get like people with tiny heart syndrome out of there. Like they don't want those kinds of people. Okay, the first opportunity, honestly. Okay, so we've basically kind of given you guys a general idea of RASP, but something that I want to do is we're going to go through real quick, week by week, week 1 through 8, of what you're going to kind of do each week. So week 1, it's all kind of smoking. Yeah, so week 1, you're looking at pretty much exclusively, like this is the first opportunity the cadre have had to like, with this new class, so they're really going to just smoke you, try as much as they can to get like people with tiny heart syndrome out of there. Like they don't want those kinds of people. Okay, so it's a weeding out phase in week 2. Week 2, that's when you actually start full range, and full range is like the actual suck fest. And this is all when I went through the course, because I've heard different now that they're changing what week you go through full range. But when I went through week 2 was full range, and that's again just more of like the same, kind of like weeding people out. Like full range sucks. You're gonna be working off like an hour of sleep. They're gonna wake you up in the middle of the night. They're gonna be playing
took us out on another ruck, and we came back, and they did that 2 more times that night. And then we just started, and after our 4th ruck that night is when they actually started us on our land nav phase. So goal range is when you're actually going to do your land nav, and it's really important to pass that. There's no right answer to how many points to get. Just try to get as many points as you can, honestly. Like, it's kind of one of those
do your
things.
best.
Yeah, it really is. My first class, I think I got 14 points, and I was a go. And then my second class, I think I got 11 points, and I was still a go. So
Okay. And week 3?
week 3. So week 3 is the first like graded phase for recycles. So week 3 is when they're going to grade your swim aptitude test. That's when they're going to grade your land nav points that you got, and that's when kind of the cadre's assessment of a candidate kind of comes into it. And that's when they have the opportunity to recycle like any of the potential rangers going into it. That's when your first wave of recycles will go back to pre-ras.
Okay. Week 4?
Week four is when you kind of start to do your like Johnny cool guy shit. That's when you're gonna like go through like your fast roping course, which is dope. It's like kind of scary at first, or it's not scary. It just feels unnatural because you're not harnessed up or anything. There's no safety measures. It's just you holding on to the rope. You're like 60 feet up, so it kind of feels unnatural, but it's honestly really easy because it's all about just locking your legs. Then you're gonna shoot down later on in that week. You're gonna have an airborne operation, which is pretty much, I think, just for currency for people rolling over into Ranger regiments, so they don't have to so you don't go like ×1 or ×2 coming out of airborne school. That being said, though, that's pretty cool, and usually they'll cap that with like the mile, which is where once you hit the DZ, you'll assemble, and they'll have like a bunch of logs and water cans and stuff that you have to carry back in like commemoration of like Mogadishu with like Black Hawk Down and stuff. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen that. Also, what you might do during that is an RPAT, and I don't know if any of you guys know what an RPAT is, but it's a Ranger Physical Assessment Test, and it's different from your standard PT test. It's more of like a combat-based PT test, and it's going to be like a rope climb, a 2-mile run, or no, sorry, it goes a 1-mile run, a rope climb, a ladder climb, a Skedco drag, like a 100-meter sprint, then like a wall climb, and then another like 1-mile run, and that's got to be completed in I think 40 minutes, and it's actually a smoker like that. Yeah, it's awful because you're doing it all in full kit too, so there's no remorse.
Okay. All right. Week 5?
Week 5, this is when you're actually going to phase up. This is when you're going to class up into phase 2. This is when you're going to get like a whole new set of cadre, and these cadre are less focused on weeding people out. Like at this point, for the most part, like all the like tiny hearts are like out of there. They've already pretty much gotten rid of all the people that they don't see potential in. So at this point is when you're gonna actually like the cadre are gonna be really focused on making you into the best you can be. So when you go to your company in like whatever battalion you get assigned to, that's when they're gonna start like they want you to be ready to take on that workload. So they're gonna do a lot of shooting. Like week 5 is all shooting with your Glock, shooting with your M4. Week 6 is shooting or demo, depending on what, because they like split your class up into 2 at that point. So you're gonna have like 2 different platoons, and one's gonna go to the demo range for week 6, and the other one's gonna go to more just shooting. This is gonna be like more like move and shoots or shoot houses or whatever they have slated. And then week 7, those are gonna flip flop. And then week 7 is when anyone who didn't pass the PT test at week 6 is gonna do the PT test at week 7. And then week 8, that's like when you get debriefed on like your soft command and like multinational joint tactics or whatever. That's usually what they do for week 8. And then after that, week 9 is just graduation week. So
And then send on over to your 75th back?
well, actually, it depends. It depends on what your MOS is, because certain MOSs won't have certain MOSs, like for example, me and James, me and Jimmy, we're fisters, and they're like really like low on fisters.
East. And Holland is 6'4" or 6'5", and he's very strong. And hopefully Kasaya is like that. Because they literally have the same diet. And people make fun of me for feeding my son like that. Where is my mouth? Everyone.
I got him his own camera. I know there's a lot of his communities in my chat spam hating. So what I did for y'all, so y'all can get off my dick, I got him his own cameraman on my tab. So he can get, he didn't want his own cameraman, so I got him his own cameraman. So sometimes he gotta sell this shit, bro. Yeah, I can't be the pilot every time. All day, every day, nigga. Amazon pilot, he can be the all day, every day, nigga. Amazon pilot, he can be the pilot of his ship, you know. And you feel like if you was being taken from him and shit, like nah. Have your own cameraman, have mine. Nigga, you're a team though. I ain't saying we're not a team, but nigga, your cameraman, my cameraman. Boom. Straight up. I know there's a lot of his communities in my chat.
No, no, they can see you. Oh, you know they can see you, right? Oh, you. Like you chatting then.
Oh, no, just talk to text.
Oh, I know. They can see. I'm like, if you want to, but you can just tell them you're the
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, I was so confused.
I'm thinking I'll just explain. No.
Yeah, anything you want to tell them. Yeah, that's funny. That is funny. Oh,
Hey,
God.
where is the Men in Black thing? We go rewind like 5.
The power had went out, so.
fucking week. I got too many hoes in my shit. Oh my god. Oh, send me that shit. I got all kind of shit in my shit. You don't want to go through my camera roll. My shit lit. can't keep doing this. Hold on. I gotta pee too. I need to study and I'm doing something else. I'm tripping. Appreciate it, broski. You don't know what the Asvab is? You gotta look it up, bro. It's to get into the army. Got that last one wrong. I wonder if I need to dress up to take the test.
I did it. Hi. No. I did it. I didn't do anything. I just informed.
Jesus Christ, they always get y'all, bro. They always get y'all every single time. Did you not know that? You see this right here?
Yes.
You see this on the screen?
Yeah.
That's the last thing I shot. After somebody tweeted out all my shit.
No, it's not. Are we serious?
Ask my chat if I'm lying and this is the last nigga that I shot.
No. Good thing I didn't tweet anything.
Okay, let me just go to my profile.
Okay. I think you left something in the bathroom.
Can't wait to bounce tonight. Exclamation, 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 exclamation. Hashtag bouncy like a ball.
Yo, I thought of that myself.
This is what I need to be studying in the math. Okay, so. 15. Okay. It's 12 times 10. 120. 0. 200 bucks. $800. 400 times. Well, might be wrong here. 1600. Sorry. Four. 42 inches. So I'm gonna try to do 6x plus 12 plus 10x minus 7 equals 170. We combine like terms, we're gonna get 16x 12 minus 7 minus 5 equals 170. We add 5 to both sides. Now we got 16 going into 175. Okay, 16 on time 1. Did I do this right? had to clean my camera roll after this test because my shit is right. Yeah, appreciate that, Xmo. Computer Asvab. And I'm joining the army, yes. Let me see what, I know I can't use my calculator, but I can't figure this one out. Two L, oh, that's right. You gotta multiply those two. When it comes to rectangle, you multiply the two. So I have to put 2 outside of that 10x minus 7 plus, and then put a 2 outside of 6x plus 12. And you're gonna get 10. No, you're gonna get 20x. Damn, 20x minus 14. You're gonna get plus 12x plus 24. Got 32x plus 10 equals 170. Now if we add 10 to both sides, we get 32x equals 180. That going into that. How many times does 32 going into 180? Maybe 4 times. 32 times 4, 8. Nope, it can go in there more than that actually. So it's going there 5 times. 150. I don't know if I'm doing this right still, bro. Let me see. Oh, I needed to add. Why did I add? You subtract, and it's 32 going into 160. The answer is 5. Okay. Triangle has a perimeter of 15 inches. Side here is 2 less than x. An unknown number. Side OX is 2 greater than x. And top of x is 2. I left to each side. I gotta pee so bad. Thank y'all for the love and support. Love y'all, man, for real. 15. 15, well, not even right there first. Let's write x minus 2 that's right, we got x minus 2 plus x plus 2 plus 2x minus 5, which equals 15. Combine like terms. X, 2x, so we got 4x. All the x's are accounted for. We got negative 2 going into negative 5, which gives us negative 7. Equals 15. Plus 7 going into 15. 2. It's 4 going into 22. I hope this is right, bro. 2. So 5.4. Just can't see that though, right? And then I guess you just plug it back in everything. Well, I wouldn't even say 5.4. I'm gonna just say it's 5. What? 5? I mean, you just plug them in. 5 minus 3, so that would be 3 inches. 2. So that would be 7 inches. Okay. 2. 10. Okay, so I think it's 375. I think I got the answer. I just learned how to count, do perimeters of a rectangle. Here we go to draw a line with 4 times. The park has 4 sides. Each side is 100 meters. That's right. That was 1600. Whoa. I got those two right. Was it 5 inches? 2, 5. To get 42 inches. Oh, you substitute the 5. Oh, 30. Yeah, 42. 50 minus 7 is, well, no. How wide? Oh, they want to know the width. Okay, you gotta read that stuff. Oh my gosh, bro. I think the answer was 200, bro. We said 300. No, he right though. Maybe. Put a paper towel. You know where that paper towel went, cuz. Damn, cuz. Alright. Oh shit. I might have picked the wrong thing on that. Yeah, I couldn't guess it. 16, I probably got a. Yes, sure is 300. You're right, bro. That's probably what I did last time. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the areas of triangles now. Area equals length times width. Forty 40 square inches. gotta take the test. Well, I'm finna leave and like I need to get dressed actually. Calculate the area of triangles and rectangles. Area equals 40. Man, 60. Oh, 80 over 2. Okay. Text him back. Alright, I need to figure out how we got this answer here. Chat GPT. Awesome. Awesome. I'll see you then. We'll just go for 1. It might be later than 1. 1 o'clock. Oh, I'm tripping. Got 36 times. Yeah, 36. 36 times 8. What? Oh, and then no. 1 over 2 to 288 over 1. No, bruh. How are you getting 836? Oh, 36 times 4? Oh, you're looking at 36 equals 1/2 times base times 8. Duh. Half of 8 is 4. And then 36 equals 4 times base. Do that for that. Then you're gonna get 9. Base is 9. just like the formula, I guess, huh? Half times base. Area. Is length times width. So it's length. Area of a triangle. Find an area of a triangle, find an area of a rectangle. Triangle's a bit different. It's half times the base height. Okay. Oh shit, well, hold on, let me go back. This is a area. So am I multiplying? $39. 39 times 8. 72. No, it's not. Times the width, not the height. Unless we're doing half times base. I gotta go, y'all. I'm tripping. Get up. Oh, the base is always at the bottom. Duh. And the height is 8. Oh. Okay, I get it. So the answer was 52. $24. It's gonna be 15 times 25, right? $375 square feet. Might be wrong. What is the area of the picture? 14 times 5, right? Seven. Triangles are different. You do half times 4. Half of 4 is 2, and then boom. Okay. Alright. Gotta go. Yeah, I'm about to be late. I said I'm gonna be so late. Hey. I'm gonna be late. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, with my tan boots. Should I go to the gym? Maybe. Put on my feeling like it. Good thing is the recruiter gonna drive us up there, so that's pretty cool. It's just an hour away though, like fuck. So I'm gonna just study the whole time. I'm gonna be studying. Alright, y'all. Well, this was my last, 6 streams been consistent of, just studying. Been studying for like a week straight, right? hopefully that pays off. We're going to see. Oh. Come on, Jay. $7. What are you doing, Jay? Don't short me. Alright, y'all. I love you guys. And I will let y'all know the results when I come back. Hold on. I'll see y'all later. And I'll